What's up, food enjoyers? Pineapple here. I've done a lot of dungeon speedruns over the past 2 years, and I've gained some appreciation for some of them. So I thought, why not make a top 10 list ranking all my favorite dungeon skips? Okay, but what kinds of skips does good old Pineapple like? Well, firstly, the initial requirement is that it has to be a major skip, skipping from around the start of the dungeon to the end boss. Secondly, it has to be interesting and unique in some way. With these requirements, let's see what my top 10 looks like. Number 10. Mogushan Palace Door Clip. This clip in Mogushan Palace is quite surprising, IMO. I learned this through Mop Remix by watching Risky CV's skips. And did you know that the dungeon is actually very connected? Also, I'm gonna do a skip here. Boom, insane. You can actually pass through this door and it's gonna lead you to the last boss. Yep. You can just jump up on this guardrail and there is a tiny gap in the middle of this door. Let me actually shadow melt here just to make sure it works. And then double jump and Havoc Metamorphosis through. And then if you keep holding W, you're gonna be able to clip through this. And this is where you come up the elevator after the third boss, and the fourth boss, for some reason, is just spawned here, and you can defeat him. This, by the way, also works with a Vengeance Infernal Strike. If you're struggling with it, that has a much lower cooldown, and then you can test the skip with this. Well, there we go. Number 9. Halls of Stone Pillar Clip. Those that have ever run this dungeon normally know that the third boss takes close to 7 minutes to complete, and this is exactly why this skip is very cool. You can just clip to the last boss, and it's actually there. It's spawned in. You just want to clip through about here, and let's see if I can do this. This is quite precise, so it might take me a couple of attempts. Oh, never mind. I think I got it. And then you want to walk around here, and dash. Okay, here we go. And then, for some reason, this guy is just here, so, well, GG. Number 8. Halls of Lightning, Fly to the Exit. And I didn't go too far for the next dungeon. This is the other dungeon in Storm Peaks, and it belongs to the category of dungeons where the last boss has an exit right back to the start. And we're gonna use that to clip to him. So first of all, you can, for some reason, clip through this wall using Havoc Metamorphosis or Vengeance Infernal Strike. Then you want to double jump up here carefully so you don't clip back inbounds. Go around here, and then you want to make it up here. So let's see if I can do this. Okay, and now comes the difficult part. We want to make it like over there, and with the tools of Demon Hunter as well as some toys that were introduced, this is actually possible, but difficult. So let me see if I can do this. There we go. And we're at the last boss. GG. Number 7. Shadowmoon Burial Grounds, Void Flight. This is by far the most difficult skip on the list, and it's quite a doozy. You can skip from the very beginning of the dungeon all the way to the end with a Void Flight and one-shot the last boss. So you can climb up on these routes, right here and right here, do a toy car clip, and then you can backflip on this route right here and activate OZ's lag macro and do a Merakta flight, and I failed. Great. Okay, attempt 2. Okay, I've started lagging, that's a good sign, and for some reason lag macros in Midnight for me have become a lot more laggy. Maybe that makes sense though. Anyway, you want to fly around the inbounds area. I'm looking at the minimap right now. I guess I could be looking at the large map and go straight to Ner'zhul. And what happened? Uh, yeah, okay, for sure. Anyway, something like this. So what happened, I think, is that I didn't clip fully into this area. I stopped flying about here, and then I got the normal teleport zone that puts you to Ner'zhul, but rest be assured, this can be done slightly faster as well, and it's quite cool. IMO. Number 6. The Motherlode Mountain Clip. Motherlode is a dungeon where Blizzard really made sure we weren't able to skip to the last boss. If you try to mountain climb from the start to the last boss, then you'll be teleported from approximately here back to the start. However, well, speedrunners are built different. So you can just climb up here, and this is the only skip I know that uses a far sight toy. So approximately from here, this is extremely precise. So you want a far sight exactly here, I believe. And I messed it up. Great. Okay, I'm back. And I believe the skip compared to this corner is a tiny bit to the right and a tiny bit up. So like right here, hopefully that's gonna work. And yep, we can see out of bounds. And for some reason in this dungeon, if you can see out of bounds, you can jump out of bounds with Havoc Metamorphosis. This normally doesn't work in other dungeons. Then we can just triple jump and double dash. And we're lucky for a second time because there's some water out of bounds. If this wasn't here, this escape would not be possible because we would just fall into the void. But now we can just swim up, and then there's another bit of water here. And once we make it to the top of this little lake, we're gonna be lucky for a third time because even though there's a small wall we have to climb, it's actually quite easy to climb. So once we poke our head through here, yeah, here, there's a wall here that we'd have to get through, but actually with a triple jump and a dash, you can just barely make it up. And then we can just kill the last boss from behind. How cool is this? GG. Number 5. Waycrest Manor, Shipwheel Clip, and Rectangle Clip. This is one of the most difficult and yet satisfying skips in WoW, and I was partially responsible for finding this. Well, I only found the location, but not the method. I found a slightly faster location than the previously known one. With certain floor clip toys, you can just clip out of the dungeon above that ship's wheel, and then carefully navigate out of bounds, not to clip in. If you're in the lower section right here, you won't be clipping in above, and then right here, it's even easier to clip in here, so you want to take this path, and then this path. And this is by far the most difficult part. So you want to jump to the left here. You will slightly clip in. Half of your body will be clipped in. And you want to immediately clip out before you hit this stair, otherwise you clip in bounds. And then, an even more difficult part comes, navigating out of bounds without any visual indicators. And if you fail, you'll be stuck out of bounds in a disconnect loop. So wish me luck. Hopefully I can do this. Yep, something like this. Okay, we clipped in here, that's fine too. You can clip in closer to the last boss. Right here, you can just walk down this staircase, and surprisingly, the fourth boss will be available. You can kill it. And in my other run, I clipped back right here and killed the last boss from this side. And make sure you don't want to kill this boss too fast because it can bug out and completely softlock you. Good luck. And there we go. And then we can just walk to Gorak Tool and defeat him. GG's. Number 4. Stratholme, main gate to Rivendare. So this is Stratholme main gate, where the last boss is Balnazar. So the question is, how are we gonna get to Baron Rivendare from this side? Well, the answer is twofold. First of all, you can clip out of this dungeon because the right side of this portal doesn't have a hitbox. Secondly, the two dungeons are connected, and so we're gonna be able to get to Rivendare from out of bounds, as you can see. So we can go straight here, up this hill, and then climb up over here. And then there's a sort of difficult jump right here. Let's see if I can do it. Nope. All right, here we go again. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, there we go. And then we're gonna go even higher up. And I think I'm gonna go up to this hill because my movement speed isn't as high as it used to be in War Within. Never mind. Okay, here we go again. So you want to backflip here, dash. Okay, I only needed one dash actually. And then you want to aim this way, and surprisingly, you can make it to Rivendell from this location. It's quite funny. I'm gonna wait for both of my dashes to come up, and then gun shoes in the air, glide and dash. There we go, and then re-glide. And then we want to dodge this section. You can already see that my character is on the map. Okay. You want to keep dashing as much as you can. You can clip in easily in this tunnel, so I want to go around it. And then go straight to Rivendell. I'm gonna double backflip just to make sure I get here. And then, oh no, what have I done? Oh, never mind. Okay, we're here, okay. There we go. That's how you do it totally. Okay, but with more movement speed, you can actually just clip through right here, through this wall, and then make it straight to Rivendell. I badly don't have enough because of the movement speed nerfs in Midnight. Well, but we made it anyway. Number 3, Toldagor Wall Climb. Ah, Toldagor, what an amazing dungeon design, said no one ever. This is why we're gonna skip all of it. And when I first saw this skip by Sheik Runner, I was quite amazed that this was possible. You know, the last boss is quite high up, so we will need to climb up to him. How do you do this? Well, you start from here, approximately, you jump up on these random cracks on the wall, and somehow you're able to make it all the way to the last boss. And I'd say this is one of the harder skips, so let me just try to figure this out again. Okay, I think I have it. You jump here, approximately, then you jump up on this random crack, then this random crack, then you backflip here, you jump up on this random thing, then on this crack, then on top of this roof, and then you can make it to the last boss. Easy peasy. Oh wait, I have to kill it. Easy peasy. Number 2, Scholomance backflip over the entire dungeon. In my opinion, dungeon skips, where you skip right from the start all the way to the end, are absolutely the best, and Scholomance does this so elegantly. You just jump here, backflip, dash, dash, and also are able to go through this wall, because it doesn't have a hitbox, and you're at the very end. This is amazing. Number 1, Vault of the Wardens Doorframe Parkour. If you've been following my channel, then Vault of the Wardens being number 1 is not really a surprise. I've made a lot of videos on this dungeon, but specifically this skip, this one requires absolutely no toys, no items, just parkour skill. And we're gonna jump past an invisible wall here that lets us access this secondary wall and clip below this floor tile by walking forward. And this is what's cool about this skip, is that it requires nothing, and yet you can skip right from the start to the end boss of Vault of the Wardens. There are definitely multiple faster skips, and you can watch my video on it, link in the description. But yeah, you can just get here. You can clip in, activate Cordana, and defeat her. Like, how cool is this? This was possible back in Legion. Obviously, it was only discovered a lot later, but still, I mean, isn't this cool? So that was my list. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. What's your top 10? Feel free to comment down below. I will be reading all comments, mostly because I only get like 5 comments per video, but that's gonna change once I reach my goal of 1 quadrillion subscribers by the end of the year. Hopefully you can help me out. Anyway, peace out.